One of these piles holds a message you've been needing, maybe even resisting. Trust what pulls you and choose your pile. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Whenever you find this reading, just trust that it's not by accident, it's not random. There may be something here that your spirit, your intuition, or even your higher self has been trying to bring into your awareness. So just take a moment to settle in, maybe take a deep breath, and allow yourself to be guided to the message that's meant for you. Today's reading is a you need to hear this message from Spirit. I was supposed to do a completely different video. However, I was seriously nudged to do this one. So there are messages that the collective absolutely needs to hear right now. It could be something that you may have been overlooking, or even something you feel deep down inside but need that extra confirmation on. So in front of you, I have 3 piles for you to choose from. Pile 1 is the Rider-Waite Tarot paired with a selenite stick. Pile 2 is the Chakra Wisdom deck paired with the Shiva Lingam stone. And pile 3 is the Gilded Tarot paired with the Aura Howlite Crystal Tower. So take your time and really feel into which pile is calling you. You can choose based on the tarot deck, based on the crystal, the number, or simply the one that draws your attention the most. There could be a white light around one of them that just shines a little bit brighter. If you feel drawn to more than one pile, you're absolutely welcome to explore multiple messages. And just a gentle reminder, these readings are general, so take what resonates with you and leave anything that does not, okay? Your intuition will always guide you to what's meant for you. Also, if you're looking for something more personal and tailored specifically to your situation, I do offer personal readings, and you can find that information linked in the description box below. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and choose your pile. If you need more time, you can pause the video here. If not, let's begin. Hello, pile 1. If you chose the Rider-Waite Tarot deck paired with the selenite stick, then this message for you today, all about what you need to hear right now, is going to be for you, okay? Before we begin this pile, I've already taken a moment to meditate over the cards and allow myself to be guided to the messages meant for you. I simply followed my intuition and chose the cards that I felt aligned with the pile's energies and messages. As always, take what resonates and leave what does not, okay? Trust that what's meant for you will stand out naturally. So let's begin. So the first card we have for you is the Knight of Swords, followed by the Knight of Wands, 2 knights, followed by the 7 of Pentacles reversed. Okay. So, Knight of Swords upright. This feels like fast-moving energy. Something fast is coming in for you. Could be a call, could be an email, could be a text message, could be an opportunity, or whatever it is something is coming in quickly. There's going to be a sudden urge to act on it, to speak, or to make a decision. Okay, the Knight of Swords doesn't wait. It's very fast-moving. It's the fastest knight in the deck, okay? This is someone charging forward with a lot of mental clarity, okay? But sometimes doesn't wait to take the pause, okay? And this is very important because this is part of your message today. You could be sending that message without overthinking. You could be making a quick decision that maybe you've been putting off. Or you could be speaking a truth that you've been holding back. Okay? Either way, there's a sense of urgency here. But also, there's a reminder to just make sure you're not reacting too quickly without checking in with yourself first. And next we have the Knight of Wands. So this is interesting because, like I said, you've got two knights showing up in your reading. Wands brings passion, it brings momentum, it brings bold action, okay? This is fire energy. It brings confidence and movement and maybe even a little bit of impulsiveness. So together, the two knights are showing me rapid movement or some sort of change that's going to come into effect, and it's going to happen quickly, okay? There could be two different approaches or energies at play. There could even be interactions between two people. Or maybe this could also be internal. This could be two sides of yourself. Okay? This can feel like being pulled between thinking fast on your feet and acting on impulse, acting on your passions. You could be jumping into something that you're completely excited about, but not fully thinking it through. You could have a feeling of restlessness, like you need to do something now. You could be juggling two opportunities, two ideas at the same time, or even people. And what's interesting is now you have the Seven of Pentacles reversed. And this is where, you know, like this is fast moving, but this is where things are going to slow down. Okay, this is where the message gets real, pile one, okay? Seven of Pentacles reverse. This can point to frustration, feeling like something isn't growing the way that you had anticipated, the way that you had expected. Maybe you're even questioning your efforts. You know, is this actually worth it? And because we have these two knights, maybe you're rushing into something because you are tired of waiting. Okay? Maybe you're wanting results now instead of just allowing things to develop at their own rate. You could be feeling impatient with a situation that actually needs more time, or maybe it needs a different approach. Okay? You might be tempted to quit something. You might be tempted to chase something new or make a sudden shift because you're not seeing the immediate payoff. But this card right now is asking, you know, are you reacting out of impatience or are you reacting from clarity? Okay, so yes, there is a strong push here to move, but also a warning about moving too fast out of frustration. You've got momentum here, but you also need direction. Okay, pile one, so let's move on to your spirit message. You have self-awareness is key. Take time today to go within and spend time with your soul. Go for a walk in nature and ground yourself. Meditate. Listen to your favorite music. Whatever you enjoy most, do that today. Okay, so that's your message from Spirit. And this kind of just confirms everything. So before you act, before you speak or text back or email back, or before you decide to pivot, just take that pause, okay? Because this isn't about stopping any sort of progress that you're making. It's about checking in with the reason why you're making the move, okay? You could go for a walk instead of reacting to something out of, high emotions. You could be taking a break before sending that text or making a decision. Snap judgment, okay? You could be doing something that reconnects you to yourself instead of the situation, okay? So just put a little bit of space in between you and whatever this is, whatever this decision is, whatever this situation is. So let's get your last card. This is the Starseed Oracle card. You got the Love, Hadarian energy, codependency, and boundaries. Okay. So, yes, this brings in a deeper level around codependency and boundaries. Okay, very briefly, though, Hadarian energy is connected to emotional sensitivity, to compassion, and giving a lot of yourself to others. So I believe the message here is, you may be moving quickly or reacting strongly because, perhaps you're overly invested in someone or something outside of yourself. But this is about pulling your energy back, okay? And finding that balance again, where you're giving versus where you're receiving, okay? And making sure that your actions are aligned with you, not just others. The energy right now supports this impulsive action, okay? But also with the reflection. So I would say within the next 72 hours, there could be sudden decisions being made. But then I see you being like, wait a minute, was that the right move? Okay, so that's the feeling that we have here. It's feeling energized one moment and then needing space the next, okay? So you are, excuse me, you are being pushed to act on something, but also to reflect on your motivations as well, okay? You might be seeing 11:11 a lot on the clock or 1:11, and that is alignment, but it's also a check-in moment for you, okay? Just to check in with yourself. You could also be seeing the number 555, and that's change happening quickly, okay? You could be noticing repeating patterns in your day-to-day conversations or the decisions that you're making. So you're not wrong, Pile 1, for wanting movement, for wanting things to progress. But just don't let impatience or any sort of entanglement drive your choices. Take that time, slow down just long enough to make sure that the direction you're heading in is actually aligned with you. So those are your messages today. I really hope that you like them. Comment down below and let me know if you did resonate with them, if they were messages that you needed to hear. I would love to hear from you. And as always, take care of each other, take care of yourself, and I will see you all next time. Hello, Pile 2. If you chose the Chakra Wisdom Tarot deck with the Shiva Lingam stone, then these messages that you need to hear right now are going to be for you. So before we begin this pile, I've already taken a moment to meditate over the cards, and I allowed myself to be guided to the messages that are meant for you today. I followed my intuition and chose the cards that felt aligned with this pile's energy and messages. As always, please take what resonates and leave what does not, and trust that what's meant for you will stand out naturally. So let's get into your reading. The first tarot card I pulled came out sideways, and I do read sideways energy that comes out. So we have the Three of Swords. So I feel like this is emotional healing, something that's in progress. Maybe for you, Pile 2, maybe there's a little bit of pain that is still lingering, but it's starting to loosen its grip now, okay? There could have been a heartbreak or a disappointment recently, or in your not so distant past, where, you know, it's still sitting with you, but it's not fully detached from either, okay? So there's a little bit of emotional processing, but it's coming in waves now. It's not staying with you anymore. It's coming in waves. You could be thinking right now that you're over it, but then certain triggers will still hit you out of nowhere, okay? You could be revisiting a situation mentally, even if you have physically moved on from it. Or you could be slowly starting to accept something or a situation that was once very painful for you. There's healing here, but it's not linear. It's definitely layered. So moving on, we have the, yes, look at this, the Ace of Cups. Cups is all about emotions. Ace of Cups in reverse. So this is about emotional blockages or a depletion in your emotions. This could look like difficulty opening up emotionally. This could feel like a little bit of burnout energy or a little bit of emptiness, okay? This is basically your love and the connections that you make. This is that energy that's not flowing freely right now, okay? And with the Three of Swords that came up in front of it, you know, there could be a little bit of emotional residue left over from something that affected your ability to fully receive or to fully trust again, to trust someone, to trust love again. You could be finding yourself withdrawing from relationships. You could have a feeling of being numb, okay, instead of being your expressive, jovial self, okay? It could look like you're struggling to kind of reconnect with joy or any sort of emotional fulfillment right now. And lastly, for your tarot, we have the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, so you're definitely holding on tightly to something, but this is starting to loosen. Okay, you're loosening your grip. This is letting go of control. This is releasing any attachment that you have that is based in fear. Okay? And yes, this can indicate you releasing something emotionally after holding it in for such a long time. This could be finally choosing yourself over stability that doesn't feel aligned for you anymore. You could be breaking patterns of fear, breaking patterns of scarcity, that scarcity mindset. And I was going to say being defensive, but yes, in a way, but it's more like you're breaking that guarding of your heart, you know, that being the emotional guard that's there, okay? Because with these two cards in front of it, Like, this is the moment where you realize that holding on is actually costing you more than it would if you just let go. So this is an emotional reset, pile 2, okay? Something may have hurt you, but you're in the process of detaching from it. Whether you know that or you don't, whether it's conscious or subconsciously, okay? You're starting to detach from it. But here's the question, okay, that I want to ask you. Are you still emotionally invested in something that your spirit is already trying to release? And that's actually a great journal prompt. And take a piece of paper and a pen, a notebook, and really think through that question. Are you still emotionally invested in something that your spirit is already trying to let go of? So let's move on. After you've had a good think, let's move on to spirit messages. I actually pulled 2 cards for you. 2 cards came out as I shuffled. If you find yourself stuck in a situation you are unhappy with, ask yourself why you are still there, okay? Is it fear of the unknown? Leaving toxic situations or people can be the best thing you can do for your soul and your spirit. Be fierce. So this, I feel, is a big wake-up call, pile 2, okay? It's asking you to take an honest look. Why are you still in this situation? Is it fear of change? Fear of the unknown? Or is it genuinely aligned with your growth? And I'm going to say it's not aligned with your growth if you're sitting in this kind of energy, okay? This could be relationships. It could be your environments. It could be habits, thought patterns that all feel familiar, but not necessarily healthy anymore. So to me, the energy right now is very clear, okay? Staying where you're unhappy is no longer the easier option. It's definitely the heavier option, but it's no longer the easier one. And next we have, you are feeling somewhat confused by the events that are unfolding around you and the various seemingly contradictory information that is coming your way. Trust your instincts and do what they are telling you to do, and you will learn a lot about yourself and the direction you want to take, you want your life to take. Okay, so this just reinforces any sort of confusion and mixed signals here, okay? So you may be receiving contradictory advice or information from outside sources, external sources. You could be feeling mentally torn between different directions, okay? But the message here ultimately is a simple one. Your intuition already knows what's right for you. You just need to quiet the noise that's happening around you on the outside long enough to hear it. Okay? You could have too many opinions from others and it's clouding your judgment. You could be overthinking decisions that you've made or that you would like to make that already feel clear on an emotional level. You could be second guessing yourself because of conflicting perspectives. Well, let's see what the final oracle card here I have for you is. Big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. Okay. So this card is now shifting everything upward, okay, in perspective. it's asking you to zoom out, okay? Stop concentrating on the minutia of the situation, of the problem, of the decision you need to make. Take that lens and just zoom it out, okay? Instead of focusing on the emotional pain or the confusion or the chaos, this card is inviting you to look at the long-term vision, okay? Look at the perspective of a soul level, okay? And seeing your life as a bigger story that's unfolding, not just what's going on in the current moment because you're in an emotional state. And Pleiades energy in spiritual and metaphysical belief systems, it's often associated with sensitivity and having emotional intelligence and having that deep intuition. And there's a strong connection to higher guidance and, genuinely a soul mission kind of energy. And there's healing there through having that awareness and compassion. And Pleiades energy also can help people move forward from any sort of emotional entanglement into clarity, into expanded awareness. Synchronicities to watch for, okay? You could be receiving repeated numbers, 222, or maybe even 999. 222 for release, 999 is transition energy, closing the door, leaving one thing to start another, okay? You could be having sudden emotional clarity after a period of confusion, okay? If you're having a conversation with someone, or you could be seeing signs, and that could be anywhere in your environment, and that are going to feel like confirmation for you, confirmation moments. And I would say within the next 72 hours, okay? So pile 2, this is not about forcing any sort of closure. It's not about that. It's about recognizing where you've already outgrown something emotionally. Even if part of you is still holding on, okay? The shift is going to happen when you stop asking, why did this happen? And you start asking, why am I still holding on to this? So that is going to be the game changer, pile 2. And those are the messages I have for you today. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below and let me know if you resonated with these messages. I would really love to hear from you. Take care of yourself, take care of others, and I will see you all next time. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the Gilded Tarot deck along with the Aura Howlite Crystal Tower, then these messages that you need to hear are going to be for you today. Before we begin this pile, I've already taken a moment to meditate over the cards, and I allowed myself to be guided to the messages that are meant for you. I simply followed my intuition and chose the cards that I felt aligned with this pile's energy and message. As always, take what resonates and leave what does not, and just trust that what's meant for you will stand out naturally. So let's begin with some tarot. First off, we have the 8 of Swords, followed by the Ace of Pentacles, followed up by the 6 of Swords. Okay, so let's start with the 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords often shows up when someone is overthinking or just feeling mentally stuck in a particular situation or stuck in a moment in time. This is feeling trapped in a situation that may have more options than you realize. This is when fear or doubt is creating the illusion of being stuck. So this could look like you second-guessing decisions repeatedly. This could look like you feeling completely overwhelmed by just too many thoughts, or, thinking about what-if situations. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if he or she doesn't call me? What if this happens at the end if I make this investment? It's just going around and around, okay? This could look like you believing that you don't have choices when in reality you do. And there's more choices than you think there are. So this is all about mental restriction. But more importantly, it's, how do I word this? It's like self-perceived limitations, rather than it actually being a blockage for you, what actually being something that is stopping you from going somewhere or moving up in the world or doing whatever. This is a mindset card more than an actual physical block, okay? So your perspective right now is key, because then we have the Ace of Pentacles, and this is a shift, okay? Ace of Pentacles represents new beginnings, but it's pentacles, so it's the physical world, it's the material world, opportunities related to money and stability and career and something that's long-term. This is a tangible offer or a solid path that's about to open up to you. And my guess is it's going to be soon because, like I said in my intro, I had a completely different video planned, but I was being guided to do this video. So there were messages that apparently everyone needed to hear. And this could look like a new job opportunity. If you've recently filled out an application or sent your resume in, you will hear back. This could be a financial shift, better investments. This is a practical decision that's going to lead to long-term stability or a fresh start that is going to require some grounded action along with it. Okay, so this is something real. It's not just theoretical. We're not just throwing it out there like, again, like what if? This is an opportunity that you can actually build on. And then we have the Six of Swords, okay? Upright. This is movement. This is transition. You're moving out of rocky waters into something smoother, moving away from any sort of mental or emotional difficulty, and you're transitioning into something that's calmer. This is calmer, clearer energy. This is choosing peace, even if the process doesn't feel peaceful, even if it feels a little shaky or uncertain, okay? You could be leaving behind a very stressful situation or a stressful mindset. You could be traveling for a little while, not short term. You could be relocating permanently, or even just what I like to call mentally checking out of a situation, just mentally detaching from something, okay, that just is no longer serving you. You don't want to deal with it anymore. Enough is enough. This is gradually moving into a more stable emotional space, okay? It's not going to be a quick fix, though. It's not going to be instant relief. However, you are moving on to healing, and you have a direction now. Like, she knows where she's going, okay? And so these three combined This is a mental breakthrough leading to a very genuine, real opportunity and transition. So even though you may currently feel stuck, that state of stuckness isn't permanent, okay? Something is shifting from this restriction to an opportunity, to movement, and then to forward progress, pile 3. Okay, so let's get into your spirit message. We have, your life is about to start moving quickly in some areas. Events that seem to have been on hold suddenly propel forward. Move with the flow and be mindful of what needs your attention most. Make decisions rationally but sensibly. That's great advice, okay? So in conjunction with your tarot here, this is a message of acceleration. Okay, this is confirmation that any energy that has felt delayed or stagnant is going to begin to move forward again. I believe this is about sudden progress after maybe a long term of just waiting, okay? Things that were on hold, maybe you had to put them on hold, or maybe it was just the universe that put them on hold for you. They're going to start to activate again, okay? But there's a need to stay flexible. Don't be so rigid, okay? This could look like any plans that you had made that were delayed. Even travel plans, they're suddenly going to pick up speed. That block will no longer be there. You'll be able to find that decisions that you need to make will be made more quickly. And this actually, because it says in some areas of your life, yeah, there could be multiple areas of your life that are shifting at once now. Okay, so hold on, pile 3. Don't rush this emotionally though, okay? But don't resist movement either, okay? I think this pile, Spirit is telling you to move intelligently, okay? Not from an emotional impulse or an urge to react to something, okay? So just move through whatever it is that you're moving through in an intelligent way with logic, okay? The emotions will come with it. Last card is baby steps. Action, follow your intuition before it makes sense. So, pile 3, you don't need to know everything right now. You don't need to know what the full plan is. I know you want to. We all want to. But you don't need to know. There's a difference between needing to know and wanting to know, okay? You just need the next step that is aligned. And your intuition may guide you, okay? Before your logic fully catches up, okay? And this is a card that's basically saying, trust the process while staying active. Even if you can't see the next step, just take it. Trust your intuition and just take it, because there are signs that are being shown to you. Synchronicities to watch for, I would say over the next 72 hours, okay? Repeating signs of movement or travel. You could be seeing, like you could be seeing cars and roads however, they're very popular, but you could be seeing them more so on commercials, on billboards, in your dreams, on t-shirts, or whatever, what have you. You could be seeing them a lot more. You could be seeing transitions. You could be seeing pictures of doors opening. Okay? You could be receiving sudden messages or opportunities that you've been waiting for. Even though there may have been periods of complete silence, nothing was moving at all. Now suddenly you're going to start to receive them. And you could be receiving clarity after a period of confusion. So you're not as stuck as it feels, pile 3, okay? But you are being asked to shift your perspective before the external changes the landscape. And once you stop overthinking how this is going to happen, how everything's going to change, the path will start to reveal itself step by step. Okay, even if it doesn't all make sense yet, or right now, your next move is already being shown to you. So stay alert to those synchronicities because they are here and you're not as stuck as you think, pile 3. Okay? I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for letting me read for you today. If you liked these messages, if they resonated with you, hit the thumbs up button. I would appreciate it. And comment down below and let me know if they did resonate with you and what you resonated with. I would love to hear from you. So take care of yourself, take care of others, and I will see you all next time.